My mom tore up my medical records and shouted, "You're letting your sister die." My dad called me a selfish mistake. They forced me to the hospital to donate half my liver. Then the doctor said 6 words that made my mom collapse in her chair. Hey, Reddit. Some families break apart slowly. Mine shattered in an instant. It all happened the moment my mom ripped my medical records in half and yelled at me as if I were a criminal. But I guess the cracks were always there. I just didn't want to see them. It was a Thursday morning. I was sitting at the dining table going over documents for my new job, something I had worked years for. My life was finally finding a balance of independence, peace, and stability. Then my phone buzzed. It was my mom. A single text. "Come home now. It's about your sister." My stomach tightened. My older sister, Emma, had been unwell for months. Her liver was failing slowly but surely. She was losing weight, hope, and time. I dropped everything and drove home, my mind racing the entire way. When I walked in, the house was chaotic, frantic footsteps, crying and angry whispers. Then my mom appeared in the hallway with my medical folder clutched in her trembling hands. "Mom, what's going on?" I asked. She didn't respond. She held up the folder, her eyes ablaze. "You," she screamed. "You are letting your sister die." I froze. "What are you talking about?" She shook the folder so hard that papers flew everywhere. "The doctor said you're a match. A perfect match. Why didn't you tell us?" My heart nearly stopped. "What? A match for what?" She stepped closer. Too close. "A liver donation." My mouth dropped open. "No, Mom. That's not right. I haven't even done a compatibility test yet." Before I could say more, my father stormed into the room, his face red, hands trembling with anger. "You selfish mistake," he spat at me. "You always ruin everything. Why couldn't you say yes the first time we asked?" My chest tightened. The doctor never told me I was a match. I hadn't refused anything. No one asked me to get tested. My mother's voice cracked. "Emma needs half a liver." "Half! And you're going to sit there and watch her die." I stumbled back, overwhelmed. I'm scared," I admitted quietly. "I've never had surgery before." My father interrupted me with a laugh. "Oh, now she's scared. Now she cares about her body more than her sister." His words cut deeper than any knife. Before I could respond, he gripped my arm tightly. "Dad, stop. You're hurting me." But he didn't listen. He dragged me down the hallway like a prisoner, and my mother followed, yelling about ungrateful daughters, sacrifices, and how they shouldn't have had another child. We reached the car. "What are you doing?" I cried. My father shoved me inside. "We're taking you to the hospital," he said. "Right now. You're donating whether you like it or not." The whole drive felt surreal, like a nightmare unfolding in fast motion. My parents yelled over one another. "Your sister is dying. Stop being dramatic. You owe this family. We gave you everything." But I stared out the window, tears burning behind my eyes. The truth was, I loved my sister. And if I was really the match, I would donate. But the way they were forcing me, dragging me, calling me names, treating me like an object, something inside me was breaking. When we arrived, nurses rushed Emma into a separate room. She looked pale, her eyes sunken and barely conscious. My heart twisted at the sight of her. "Emma," I whispered. She glanced at me weakly. "Don't let them force you," she breathed. Her voice was soft, fragile, and honest. I froze. "You don't want my liver?" I asked, but she didn't respond. Her eyes drifted shut as the nurse wheeled her bed down the hallway. My mom turned to me. "Don't listen to her," she snapped. "She's delirious. She doesn't know what she's saying." Then she grabbed my shoulders. "Please," she begged. "Save her. Don't be selfish." For a moment, something inside me cracked, the part of me that had looked up to my big sister since childhood, the part that always wanted to protect her. But then my father's fingers dug into my arm again, pulling me forward. "Let's get this over with," he said. The doctor entered, middle-aged, calm and professional. He looked at the 3 of us, then at me. "Before we proceed," he said gently, "I need to confirm that you are volunteering for this procedure willingly." My father stepped forward immediately. "She's doing it," he said. "She knows she has to." My mom nodded rapidly. "We've talked about it. She's agreed." The doctor turned to me. "And you? Is that true?" I hesitated. I need to know something first. I swallowed hard. Am I even a match? The doctor blinked. What do you mean? My parents said I was, but no one had tested me yet. The doctor opened a chart, flipped through it, and his expression changed. He looked up at me slowly. When exactly did they tell you you were a match? I pointed at my parents. Just this morning. The doctor exhaled, set the folder down, clasped his hands together, and said 6 words that made my mother collapse into the chair behind her. You are not a donor match. My father's eyes widened. My mother covered her mouth, shaking violently. What? What do you mean? She stammered. The doctor held up the report. You are not compatible. You were never considered a donor. The blood types don't match. Her body would reject the transplant immediately. Tears filled my eyes. Not because I wasn't a match, but because my parents had emotionally torn me apart for something that was never possible. My father went pale, and my mother started sobbing uncontrollably. But the doctor wasn't finished. He looked at both of them, then at me. There's something else you all need to hear. He opened a second folder. My parents stared at him in terror, and what he said next shattered everything we thought we knew about our family. The doctor's words echoed in the room. There's something else you all need to hear. My stomach twisted. My parents froze as if bracing for impact. The doctor opened the second folder, glanced at the papers, then looked directly at my parents. His next sentence felt like a needle piercing the air. Your daughter isn't the one who's incompatible, you are. My mother gasped. My father blinked, confused. What do you mean we are incompatible? The doctor turned the folder toward them. These blood type results, he explained carefully, do not match the biological profiles listed for the parents. My heart stopped. What? What are you saying? I whispered. The doctor took a breath. You cannot biologically have produced both of your daughters. The room fell silent. I stared at him, frozen. My mother's hands trembled uncontrollably, and my father's jaw clenched, sweat forming on his forehead. The doctor continued gently but firmly. Your younger daughter, he pointed at me, does not share a bloodline with either of you. Mom sank deeper into the chair, visibly shaking. Dad tried to speak but failed, then whispered, Stop. Just stop. But the doctor didn't stop. This means she cannot physically be Emma's donor. It also means she isn't your biological child. My entire world spun. The room blurred. My ears filled with a ringing sound. I managed to whisper just one word. Adopted. My mom covered her face, sobbing. My father slammed his fist onto the counter. This is not the time, he shouted. The doctor stepped back calmly. Actually, he said, this was discovered during Emma's expanded genetic panel last month. You all received the letter. I turned to my parents, horrified. You knew. You knew for a month, I accused. Neither of them answered. I felt as if the floor had cracked beneath me. Tell me the truth, I demanded. My mother shook her head vigorously. I didn't want you to find out like this. Like what? I snapped. That you've lied to me my whole life. Dad finally spoke, his voice low and rough. You weren't supposed to be ours. You were left at the hospital. My breath left my lungs. What? My mother sobbed harder. Your birth mother abandoned you after delivery. She didn't want you. The hospital contacted extended relatives, but no one claimed you. My heart shattered. Each word burned. So you took me, I whispered. Mom nodded, tears streaming down her face. We had just lost a baby that year. I couldn't handle another loss. The doctor said I needed a family, and Dad interrupted sharply. We weren't ready for 2 children. We weren't ready financially, but she insisted. My mother cried harder. I couldn't leave you there. But when Emma got older, she got sick. We thought maybe. I stepped back. Maybe what? My voice cracked. That I was your spare organ. Mom collapsed into sobs. No, that's not what I meant. Dad buried his face in his hands. When Emma got sick, he said quietly, we tested you. You weren't a match. We found out then that you weren't biologically ours. I stared at both of them. You knew for years and never told me. Mom whispered through tears. I thought you'd hate us. Hate you? No, I didn't hate you, but I didn't know you either. Not really. The doctor cleared his throat. There's something else, he said gently. One more reason, he continued. She fainted earlier. He pointed at Emma's chart, Emma does have a match. A relative, but not your younger daughter. I blinked. Who? The doctor hesitated, then said, your niece. My mind went blank. My niece. I repeated. Mom's head snapped up. Dad jumped to his feet. The doctor nodded. Your sister Emma's daughter. Your biological granddaughter is a perfect match. My breath caught. Emma has a daughter. The doctor raised his hands, sensing the rising chaos. She listed a child in her confidential medical forms. A teenage girl. She kept her identity hidden, but legally we had to run her DNA because she is her next of kin. Everything hit me at once. Emma's secret, my parents' lies, my forced guilt. Mom almost screamed, but we begged her. She said she didn't have anyone. The doctor shook his head. She didn't want the girl dragged into family drama. She didn't think you'd accept her. Mom collapsed again. Dad cursed under his breath. And I felt my heart breaking for Emma, for the pain she carried alone, for the daughter she couldn't mention. My father turned to me suddenly, angry again, but this time with himself. We shouldn't have forced you, he whispered. We shouldn't have done any of this. My mother crawled forward and grabbed my hand desperately. I'm sorry, she sobbed. I was scared. I thought I was losing Emma. I thought you were the only chance. I gently pulled my hand away. I loved you, I whispered. I thought we were a family, and you treated me like a disposable backup plan. Mom sobbed harder. Dad bowed his head. The doctor stepped aside as a nurse entered. Emma's alert, she said softly. She's asking for her sister. My throat tightened. Not the liver donor. Not the adopted child. Her sister. I walked down the hallway, my parents trailing silently behind me. I stepped into Emma's room. She looked weak and pale, but when she saw me, her eyes softened with relief. I told them not to force you, she whispered. You don't deserve that. I held her hand. Why didn't you tell me about your daughter? Her eyes filled with quiet pain. I wanted to protect her like I tried to protect you. My voice cracked. Protect me from what? She whispered. I squeezed her hand. Your daughter, she's the match. Emma's eyes widened, filling instantly with tears. Is she coming? I nodded softly. She will be here soon. And for the first time in a very long time, Emma smiled. A small, fragile smile, but it was enough.